everybody that stops by to check out the videos. And I appreciate all your comments and your thumbs ups. We got more stuff to talk about. Who's that on the screen? John Brennan. He's, I will go show you proof of a coordinated media narrative. And you know, if an old man like me can find it out sitting out here in the woods, that our military intelligence can find it too. So anyway, folks, we're going to talk about that. I was going to put it on the screen. He's behind me, isn't he? Ha ha ha. But future proves past. He's petitioning the court for special treatment. Well, anyway, we'll get into that and a lot of other stuff. But what do? I play videos while people come in, get settled in, get themselves a cup of coffee, a cold brouhaha, or an adult beverage of their choice. And then what will we do? We'll be like butter and get on a roll.
In July of 1776, King George III still towered over New York City, not in person, in lead. At Bowling Green, near the tip of Manhattan, stood a gilded 4,000-pound statue of King George on horseback, dressed like a Roman emperor. It had been erected just 6 years earlier as a monument to British power. But by the summer of 1776, Americans no longer saw majesty in this statue. They saw tyranny. On July 9, 1776, George Washington gathered his troops in New York and had the newly adopted Declaration of Independence read aloud. The words had barely settled before soldiers, sailors, and patriots surged down Broadway to Bowling Green and toppled the King George statue. While the crowd saw tyranny toppled, Connecticut patriot Oliver Wolcott saw bullets. 4,000 pounds of lead bullets for a Continental Army Wolcott knew would be desperate for ammunition. So Wolcott had the shattered pieces of King George loaded onto boats and shipped to Connecticut. From there, ox carts hauled the remains of King George more than 60 miles over rough country roads to Wolcott's home in Litchfield. And in the Wolcott family orchard, a shed became a foundry. His wife Laura, his daughter Marianne, and local neighbors worked over melting pots, pouring the king's lead into bullet molds. 42,088 musket balls in all. Some of those bullets were fired 2 years later at the Battle of Monmouth, the brutal New Jersey showdown where Washington's army proved it could stand in the open field against British regulars. You have to love the irony. Britain sent America a monument to empire. America sent it right back at muzzle velocity. So let's celebrate our nation's 250th birthday as we remember patriots like Oliver Wolcott who made it all possible. From the
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
storm zone.
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering what storm you're talking about.
They have unsuccessfully tried to take down the wrong person.
He's absolutely going to come back with full vengeance the next time around.
Now think about what 4 years of a retribution presidency might look like. Our Constitution really does give the president tremendous power to destroy. This will be something we could never have imagined.
Now the gloves are off.
Some of Trump's close political allies told him they are working on figuring out the identities of the FBI and DOJ staff and forming lists.
I will direct a completely overhauled DOJ to investigate every radical DA and AG in America for their illegal, racist enforcement of the law. The deep state is destroying our nation. But the tables must turn, and we will quickly destroy the deep state. We know where the bodies are buried. There are a lot of people out there that have done some very, very evil things, very bad things, I would say treasonous things against our country. People that have done such harm to our country. I've been looking at them for a long time.
He could order the investigation and prosecution of individuals who he perceives as enemies.
Put them all in jail where they belong. You gotta get tough and smart, and you have to fight fire with fire. You can't allow this to go on. I am your retribution. We will take care of it. We will take care of it.
We will take care of it. Put them all in jail where they belong. And I agree. I agree 1,000%. Who came to see me this evening here? Sissy's here. Elva's here. Todd's here. Darla. Nice to see you. Cole. And Wayne is here. Give me thumbs ups. And Robin is here. And I got the 2 contributors this week to the Buy Me a Coffee right on the front row. Robin and the younger gang. Nice to see all of you. So, and everybody else that helped out with Buy Me a Coffee. I'll go over the list there later on in the broadcast. Let us see. Stanton's here. All right. Nice to see you. And I don't believe I missed anybody yet. Elva's here. All right. Outlandish. Nice to see you. Okay. And if I miss somebody, you know I don't mean to. Outlaw. Nice to meet you. Now we had somebody. Mac, nice to see you. And all my lurkers out there. So we had somebody come in the chats, and we tried. But who knows? Maybe a little something sink in their head. Who knows? But I tell you what, it is a worldwide operation. And I meant to go over these MK Ultra hearings in the Senate, but we've talked that stuff to death. We know about it all. We know about that stuff, but when you go out of your way to make the title of your YouTube name mocking MAGA, what kind of life are you living? What kind of life is somebody living when they go out of their way to go to the reflecting pool and jump in and try to exacerbate the damage to the lining? What the hell is coordinated crap about Epstein? They never cared about him. We talked about Epstein for 10 years. On this platform, 5 years, because I wasn't up to YouTube 10 years ago. But everybody else was talking about it. Now the left, when they want to throw rocks at Trump, we got to find out about the Epstein files. If Trump was actually involved in that stuff, right? Bill, Barack, Nancy, Chuck, Joe, and basically every major political figure just sat on that information and let him get elected twice. 3 times, really. Yet no one ever exposed it. Make it make sense. And you can't get straight answers. You saw me try. I tried to talk about issues that were common to humanity, and things we could mutually agree on. But right at the end, they got to do something with that underlying viciousness, maliciousness. Instead of everybody saying, "Oh, hey, maybe we got a new friend. We'll all meet again tomorrow night." Now it's got to be some psyop repeated right at the end of the broadcast when everybody's signing off. That's what it is. It's nothing but psyops. And here's a good example. Like I'm saying, it's worldwide. I'll show you an example. People in Europe, we know they're nuts. We already know they're nuts. the illegal psychological warfare campaigns are many where the germs live. A poster put up on a public place. The poster reads, "Future or climate killer." A baby. A baby. Are you raising the future of the nation or somebody that's going to destroy the planet? An innocent little infant. What did God say? Be fruitful and multiply. So, yeah, they're all falling for this climate hoax. And if anybody comes in, you all know what to do. Yeah, Matt, right at the end, you might not have stayed long enough. Right at the end, she made some snotty comment about 34 felonies. Just saying. And we know those charges were drummed up, and those judges should be removed from the bench. And some of them should be before a military tribunal. They really should. A military commission for their conspiring. So to prevent Trump from running with dreamt up felonies, it's all a joke. Yeah. When is that stuff going to start? Is suing in court, and they make him out to be some kind of hero. And of course, it pops up on my feed, you know. Here we go. Get a load of the verbiage. This is from the Associated Press. Ex-CIA Director John Brennan seeks court order requiring records from investigation be preserved. Now, if you're the average Joe Smo, what is that? What do you think? Please put in the comments, what would you think if you're the average person reading this? What would you think is going on here? Not what's really going on. What would the average person who's doesn't have their ear to the ground, what would they think? We're talking advanced coordinated psyops. All right, what was the other one on my feed? Let's see. Supreme Court allows end to TPS protection. What's your shirt say? Haitian lives matter. Ruling permits Trump administration to terminate. You know, so we got to be, you know, all guilty over that. But anyway, while you're cogitating on that, I'm going to find another one that they put up. All of the news sites are using the same verbiage. And the same thing with this, here's the one. Here's another one. And you see in the comments, John Brennan is a hero. John Brennan is the one I played the tape of him saying that Trump committed treason while Trump was president and meeting with Vladimir Putin in Minsk. Was it Minsk? Where he got the soccer ball. And he had to retract that. But anyway, former CIA Director John Brennan sues President Trump and others to preserve records from investigation. Mockingbird. Repeating. Former CIA Director John Brennan on Wednesday sued President Donald Trump and his top law enforcement officials to force them to preserve records related to investigations into Brennan. Oh, really, Todd? She's not here now. I did right at the end of the broadcast, Todd. I mean, the last 5 minutes. Who did I block then if I got... Let me see. So I don't see any... Hi, sweet. Who you talking to? Is it late? I'm not late. I'm like a wizard. I arrive exactly when I mean to. Ha 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 ha. Who got blocked? Yes, she. You guys getting a choppy signal? Okay. I'm just looking through the chats. Well, who got blocked then if I didn't block? Well, I have to check the chats because they could be out, because I can do it after the broadcast. I can do it after the broadcast. That's when I blocked her, at the very end of the broadcast. I said, that's enough. This is the second broadcast. Some strange, crazy woman with cats and drooling over Trump is taking up my time. I blocked her. I'll check it. If I didn't block her, I'll do it. Did everybody stay to the end of the broadcast? Because I can show you where I say, enjoy this video, and all of a sudden, like 50 people leave and don't enjoy the video. and it just, all the viewership drop off. It just shows you a graph. Every video. Everybody's out of here, And that's when it happened. Right at the end of the video I was showing, I stopped the video. I said, you're not getting away with this. Boy, if I go there and find out that... Okay. Well, as far as this PSYOP is going, there's no focus on what this DECLAS with Brennan is big. I need to find a video to play. But it's all crappy news. Somebody got getting shot over a parking space. But anyway, here's one I didn't get to play last night. J.D. Vance talking about the Pope and capitalism. And we'll get back to the Mockingbird media with John Brennan. What's going on? And, big things are getting ready to break loose. I could give a rat's behind about that woman, okay? They're hopeless. They're vicious. They're childish in a malicious way. And you got to try to reach out to them. What are we told? We're told you have to reach out to people, but if they reject you, you shake the dust of their house from your feet and depart. It doesn't mean that if they repent and change their hearts and minds that you continue to reject them. But if they don't, you just don't worry with them anymore. You don't worry with them anymore, but you got to try. You got to try. If every time somebody comes in with a negative thought, they just get attacked and run off and blocked right away, then we're just talking to ourselves. But anyway, here's J.D. Vance talking about the church, because that was one of the things that I gave a warning about. I got people that blame the Jewish people. I got people that blame the Catholics. I got people that blame the Franciscans. And I do my share of blaming Islam. But anyway, here we go.
In him, God bless him, who is very deeply, in some regard, anti-capitalist. Similar to the last pope, who was seen to be very anti-capitalist as well, very critical of the Trump immigration policies as well. So are you concerned about that?
No, I'm not concerned, Laura. I mean, I maybe just don't see it the same way. I don't see Pope Leo as anti-capitalist. I do think that some of the things that have come out of the Vatican on the immigration, ultimately, I disagree with it, but I actually like this interplay, Laura, between the Pope, between Christian clergy, and between the administration. We don't always have to agree on these issues, but I think the fact that we're actually having the right conversation, how they're, applying a pragmatic principle of immigration policy, that's a natural and reasonable thing to do. But I do think that we learn something in the interplay. And what I would hope that the Catholic leadership has learned from some of the things that me and Marco and the president have said about immigration is it's not just about the dignity of the immigrant. It's also about the dignity of the native-born factory worker who has their wages destroyed. It's about the dignity of the child who can be sex trafficked by a cartel member when you have open borders. And so what I tell the Catholic leadership I talk to who disagree with our immigration policies, I'm not hostile about it. I invite them to have the conversation, but I also encourage them to remember that mass migration has victims. And you can't just view things from the perspective of the illegal immigrant. You've also got to view things from the perspective of the native-born people who have their lives upended by mass migration. I think that argument will ultimately win the day, but I'm not afraid of the conversation. I think it's a good thing, and it's a good role for the church to play.
So what do y'all think about JD? He's very diplomatic in his discussions. Hi, Miss Mindersoo. How are you doing, Miss Mindersoo? And then we had a couple other people come in. You're home, and you got some more to do. A stint. Yeah. I have friends that had several of them. And I think it's like after 8 years, you get 10 years. Check it or, hi, Brett, how you doing? Nice to see you. Who else did I miss? Miss Menderson was lurking. Ha ha ha, that's okay. That's okay to lurk. But anyway, I don't see any they're making it seem like the Trump administration is trying to destroy records. I don't see anybody even trying to guess. This is one of those nights where I wonder what I'm doing with my life. I got posts I'm worried about putting up that I want to put up. I've already gotten 2 videos taken down. Next time, it'll be a week. I'll be gone. Involuntarily dismissed for a week. But I'm still going to put them up. The things I'm going to talk about. Kash Patel. FBI adds hundreds of analysts to pivotal 2020 election probe in Fulton County. He's also operating on other fronts. We have somebody who's a sleeper I've said to keep an eye out for that posted this picture right here. Devin Nunes, trending, Kash. Page with no other comment, just showing him and Kash Patel pointing at the camera. What does that mean? What does that? After Kash Patel put out a number of posts about investigations and things they're doing. Fulton County isn't the only one. I got to keep that in my studio when we get liberals in. Hi, Melinda. Hi, Awakened Trillium. How are you? Let me see what I was going to put up. So don't forget, we had this file come up. Let me find it. You know, it's hard to keep things organized. Your thoughts, where your stuff is. I'm going to find out about what I did with that. At least I didn't block Miss Mindersu, right? By accident. Who did I block? Anyway, right here. Whoops. Oh, goodness. Right here. My. Here it is. All that finger pointing. With a coordinated message through all media sites that makes it appear like the Trump administration is trying to destroy documents. We never said that. We said he's trying to preserve documents. Well, what are you saying? Preserve them. We're sealing the deal tomorrow. Remember that? Well, I didn't want to go over this post last night because we had a rogue operator or a lunatic or whatever keeping everything in mind. An anonymous 4chan user recently posted new photos of Jeffrey Epstein's infamous P3DO island. The island features a temple atop a small mountain, blah, blah, blah. We've all been. Bill Clinton, his wife Hillary, Hollywood actors, and even members of the world's royal families. What's the date on that? 18. This is not just about S3X trafficking. Will the rich and powerful influence the court to prevent the unsealing? What is John Brennan going to court? He's not trying to preserve anything. He wants to keep things sealed. He doesn't want things getting out. Nobody in the Trump administration wants to destroy, eliminate, or otherwise disturb a damn thing. Why are they all coordinated using the term preserve? They want to preserve the secrecy. Will the rich and powerful influence the court to prevent the unsealing? Well, the rich and powerful so far influenced the court to hobble Trump with tariffs. After Trump said our country ran since its founding all the way past McKinley with no personal property, no personal income tax because of tariffs, and we were very and socialist countries like the EU have had us finance their healthcare programs through price fixing with pharmaceuticals by charging us tariffs, and we're not able to charge them tariffs by whatever influence they have over the central banks, charging us interest on the national debt we should not even have. The rich and powerful already influence us to send hundreds of thousands of men to go overseas and never come home. Talk about changing the electorate. The rich and powerful influence the court to hand out citizenship like bags of popcorn to anybody who can limp over the border and break their water and have a child. So is the rich and powerful going to keep this thing quiet? Or does Devin Nunes and Kash Patel know something is coming? The tale of two. Two things we're looking at, folks. And you see why. You know why I couldn't get into this last night. I'd probably get in. Let me shrink that down. Shouldn't get into it tonight. I don't have notes. I don't have a helper. I'm by myself. And I try to keep a thread together and try to make sense of what's going on. Two things. S3X trafficking and the occult. Nine. Is that classified? 1 through 99? I believe so. Haiti, pray for the victims. We had this discussion about CG, the inspector generals conspiring and conniving. How the hell can we have the massive fraud that we've seen go on and not one inspector general say a damn thing? There's 73 of them. Why is the rich and powerful handling that? You better believe it. I'm an old man, Stan. I'm not that old, but I got a lot of miles on me. Here we go again. Coordinated messaging. Mockingbird. Trump foe John Brennan sues administration, demanding investigative records into him be preserved. That's the word, believe it or not. Every single outlet is putting forth a narrative that John Brennan is trying to protect and preserve his records when that's not the truth. Where do these messages come from? Who they come from? Who's participating in this illegal psychological warfare campaign? What's another coordinated effort they're doing? Minimizing the 4th of July. Saying that Americans are just not thrilled about it. They don't care about their country. I've got so many things in here. I've got posts from CNN saying that very same thing. Americans are torn about their country. They're not excited about their country. Which I have it somewhere here in the studio from last week. And I was going to say, look what they're trying to start. Through other stuff. But guess what? They're putting it in full gear now. Here, this is something for you to put on your meta page. Can you give me just one reason why you think that Democrats are in on all the corruption? How is it that Biden's 87,000 new IRS agents never found just one Minnesota fraud case? Is my broadcast still buffering? That's another thing that gets in the back of my mind, just aggravates me to no end. I had to try 3 times to get this, get a connection. I could have been up at 9:50 Washington time, and I ended up a 10:15, and I'm just so mad I can't see straight. No buffering, good. Elvis proud to be American, Stanton's a young buck. Ha ha ha. So anyway, coordinated messaging. Let me find it. Well, here's an example. This pops up. I could put up I don't know how many posts from ABC, NBC, CNN, that DOJ is targeting Spanberger and Newsom, especially Newsom. And Newsom put out a video. They're targeting me. Brennan saying, I'm trying to preserve my records. They're targeting me. Unfairly targeting. So, did you see Jeanine Pirro talking about the guy that vandalized, red-handed, caught him red-handed? Ex-Olympian. Like, here we go. That's the same thing. I'm a veteran. Well, a lot of people step outside the law, or that you have any more authority over me, or that I'm supposed to bow down and kiss your rear end. I'm an Olympian. I represent my country. Well, why don't you act like it? They're putting out his first and last name, David Hearn. And I look in comments and they say, David Hearn is a patriot. How can you call somebody? Jeanine Pirro said there's witnesses. He got in the pool, took both his hands, and tried to pull the lining up, causing further damage, exacerbating damage that was done to the pool. How can you defend that? But they do. David is a good person. David is an American hero, a former Olympian. Did you see the questions that were asked to Jeanine Pirro? Guess what they asked Jeanine Pirro about. I'll give you one guess. Think about it now. You're dealing with a press that is trying to set a narrative and trying to smear Trump, smear MAGA, and deflect from the issues of vandalism. Monuments. Storms coming in. Oh, I got 5x5s. Todd, Linda. All right. No more buffering. Good. That bugs me, man. I used to listen to my old broadcasts, and they were so choppy. Oops, where'd my chats go? Get back here. Hi, Bambi. Yeah, I agree, Bambi. So what did they ask her about? How come you weren't? See, but no, Brush, that's... Yeah, it's a good guess, though. If they could figure a way to tie that in. She did a press conference. A grand jury came back and indicted this creep. I watched a video of him at the reflecting pool getting arrested again. There was the girl that confronted him was a park worker, and she was out there helping, and she said, "You think it's funny, don't you?" And he said, "Why do you care?" He didn't know she was a worker. And the grand jury heard her testimony and others that he got in the pool took both his hands, took his fingers underneath the where the liner had been cut, and pulled as hard as he could to rip up the line. He's being persecuted for political. Hearn, they're trying to make him an icon. Why wouldn't they just say Vandal indicted for allegedly destroying the reflecting pool lining? Destroying it. The liner is taller than the Empire State Building. They're using that term, destroying. And the leftist operatives picked up on it and saying in the chats, one guy on a bike can destroy the lining of the pool. I think it's more the chump who contracted a job, who's driving this country in the ground. Stuff like that. He was damaging the lining. He was damaging a memorial. 3-time Olympian David Hearn, what a hero, has been indicted in the Superior Court of the District of Columbia for allegedly maliciously destroying lining at the Lincoln. He did just what the witness said. Multiple witnesses. But they try to minimize. So that's one of many narratives. Here we go. Morale. Didn't I say morale? Morale was the most important thing in conflict. Armed conflict or otherwise. America has the big birthday blahs. About 3 or 4 broadcasts ago, I have a similar one somewhere in my studio leading up to this. Who do you think is reporting this? All of them are putting out the same narrative. CNN, national pride and satisfaction with the country's direction have been on the decline for decades, and the mood heading into the 250th anniversary is particularly grim. Yes, grim if you're one of the millions of people who are going to get thrown the hell out of this country. It's grim if you're part of the tens of thousands of do-nothing bureaucrats who've been feathering your nest for decades off our tax dollars. That's all being destroyed. Yeah, it would be grim. And you never had national pride. The 2 groups I just mentioned and others never had national pride anyway. I'm looking forward to the 4th of July. I'm in a bad mood tonight. But I'm looking forward to it. But you see what they're trying to do to our nation's morale? Trump's saying it's going to be the biggest fireworks show in history. What do you think the chances are? Some vandals and subversives and saboteurs show up. Head on a swivel. I think it's a prime time for that to happen. What will they do? Blame Trump? This woman that won in Colorado. Let me find her story. Let me see. Is this it? I'm not sure. I put this up before. I'll go ahead and play it. Here's another guy. When they call us gay, we're all gay. When they call us this, we're all this. This is a Democrat who's trying to hang on to these wacko lefties that people like James Carville and John Fetterman are running away from and have taken over the party. So this guy's just trying to hang on and exist, okay? He's espousing hedonism. He's espousing things are antithetical to our culture and our country. Proudly doing it because he wants to hang on to power.
Next time they say that James is trans, we're all trans. When they say James is a gay tofu-eating vegan, we're all gay tofu-eating vegans. And when they say James is going to hell, we'll say we're all going to hell. But joke's on them.
You got that right, bud. You said it, not me. You're all going to hell. You heard him. So anyway, I had a video where the news reporters were talking about her winning in Colorado. This might be it right here. Or is this something else? Let me see.
Begin with breaking news out of JFK Airport.
Oh, no, this is a guy that hit a drone. You know, I had this a couple of days in my broadcast and didn't get to play it, but I'm playing it, especially with this big bash coming up that they're all trying to sabotage. They would love to sabotage the 4th of July celebration in D.C. They love sabotaging Trump's efforts at cleaning up D.C., and we all know that. But here, at the JFK airport, a JetBlue plane hits a drone. How easy is it for them to have a drone that would actually pierce those things are flying beer cans. They're aluminum. Or for somebody to put something on the drone that might go pop or boom, right?
I'm going to read it from this copy that just literally came into our newsroom. The crew of JetBlue Flight 948 from Las Vegas to New York JFK Airport reported a possible drone encounter during the aircraft's final approach into New York. What we're talking about is a possible collision between a plane and a drone. This has been an ongoing issue for a lot of public safety experts on the ground and in the air. The flight landed without incident. According to this report from JetBlue Communications, customers deplaned normally and the plane was removed from service for a post-flight inspection, which found no damage or evidence of a collision. Safety is JetBlue's first priority, and we will assist with any relevant investigations. That's a statement from JetBlue Corporate Communications. The issue with the drones, the concern about drones is a very real one, especially with the 4th of July weekend coming up. Aerial reviews will be happening, the parade of tall ships on the river here in New York City, and there's a lot of concern about that. The U.S. Coast Guard telling Fox 5 News that there is absolutely no drone activity allowed anywhere in that area. So basically they're making it a frozen zone.
Well, somebody was operating a drone, and I copied this video after I had done the CUE posts about when they want to change the news cycle, what they will do. What they would do. And it talked about 51, 51 kids, right? Or 911, right? Historic disasters. They'll do that to change the news cycle. Let me see if this is the one about her winning.
A lot of people who thought that the New York race was a standout by virtue of how liberal New York is, because in those races in New York, when a Democratic Socialist beat an incumbent, balance of power in the House of Congress. In this particular case, it's less obvious. When you get to points further west out in the country where the Democratic Socialists do not have the same presence that they have, this becomes a bit more of a question as to the direction of the Democratic Party. Now, a lot of critics have come out and said these kinds of things are dangerous for the party come November, because it'll be used by Republicans to suggest, as Donald Trump has, that the communists are taking over, the socialists are taking over. But there's a lot more nuance to why some of these Democratic Socialists are actually winning. There are a few things at play here. Number one, outside money. What tends to happen is Democratic Socialists share the view of many younger Democrats about U.S. support for Israel, and what tends to happen is the incumbent or the person running against them ends up getting the support of AIPAC and its affiliated groups. So that's one of the things at play. The other one is generational. As I said, Milat Kiros has not been alive for as long as Diana DeGette has been the member of Congress. We've seen that in various races. We saw it in New York's District 13, where Adriano Espaillat lost to a much younger challenger. We saw it in Texas, where Al Green lost to a much younger challenger. There's also this internal debate about moderates versus progressives. Obviously, those who are members of or supported by Bernie Sanders or Zoran Mamdani or the Democratic Socialists of America are progressives. They're on the left side of the party versus the moderates, although I will say Diana DeGette is not thought of as anything other than a progressive. And then fundamentally, there's this fighters versus folders idea, and that may be a lot of the frustration amongst people in the Democratic Party who feel that some of their leadership and their House-endorsed candidates, remember, every incumbent in the Democratic Party is supported by the Democratic Party by default. That is a position that some Democrats feel the party shouldn't hold. They want the person who they think is going to fight most for them to be elected. The other thing is the Democratic Socialists of America, as part of the Democratic Party, when they're running as Democrats, talk a lot about affordability, which is it is the number one concern that people express right now. The dissatisfaction with Donald Trump as president, the dissatisfaction numbers are high.
Now, wait, I got to stop him here. Now he's going to blame Donald Trump because the commies are taking over. But all that babble didn't amount to nothing. It's a whack. You can pick a wacko or a whack job. A progressive is nothing but a socialist, communist, whatever you want to say. They're picking the one that will do. I heard him talk about AIPAC and all this stuff. No, they're picking the ones that are from the river to the sea that are going to want to go after Israel. What do you think Zoran Mamdani's doing? But there's not 10 cents worth of dirty ice between any of them. They're all communists, and you know he's doing all this intellectualizing deep state money. Okay, and these young people are handpicked. They're getting money from Soros and organizations like that, and they're being pushed by the deep and then state. And that's the answer to that. Now, let him keep blaming Donald Trump.
Highest as it comes to his handling of the economy. The economy and affordability were central campaign issues for Donald Trump, upon which he has not delivered. In some part, that's because of the tariffs that he imposed. In large part, it's because of this war with Iran that nobody was particularly looking for, but that increased the price of fertilizer, diesel, and gasoline. So Democratic Socialists do tend to have policies that are very directly related to housing affordability, to subsidies, to child care, universal health care, funding of health care, higher minimum wages, and those types of very explicit policies, including policies around the climate, that incumbent Democrats, some feel, have not leaned into as heavily as others. In this particular case, though, I will say Diana DeGette has not been a target of people who have not thought she's progressive enough, but Milat Kiros is definitely a lot more progressive. Milat Kiros, by the way, is an immigrant to the United States. She was born in Ethiopia. up in the Denver area, but here we have 78% of the vote in, and the Associated Press is able to call her as the victor in that race.
Hi, Sandman. Hi, Axe. How you doing? Yes, she was born in Ethiopia, and she's got something for everybody. She wants to do something about diesel costs and the cost of fertilizer, but also help out with climate change. Wait a minute, I thought you didn't want people using diesel or fertilizer and eat bugs, right? So it's all just a bunch of horse hockey. But here we go. Here she is. Incoming House Democrat endorses amnesty. How many times did I say it? That's the push. That's the push for millions of ready-made voters that have no concept of liberty, freedom, and they all want government handouts. 90% of the millions that came over. Amnesty for all of them. And then here will continue to be a 50-50 country. Even though we know before all these illegals came in, we were far from a 50-50 country. That was done through chicanery and fraud. And she said 9/11 was America's fault. Shouldn't even be standing in this country and going to be in a position of power. Pushing a communist agenda. So desperate they are. Have you heard about this one? Tim Walsh pardons an illegal alien convicted. This has shocked the conscience of Americans, not these counterfeit Americans, not these wannabe Americans, but Americans. It shocked the conscience. It made him subject to immediate deportation once he's released from jail. Denaturalized and get the hell out of here. Well, Walsh pardons him. And they're saying, well, since he pardoned him, it's like it never even happened. And now the State Department can't deport him. They're that desperate to keep a voter. So my position, my thoughts on it are that the actions of a state governor do not influence, change in any way the policies of the State Department. It did happen, pardoned or not. There's no exceptions for a pardon. If you commit those crimes, you get deported, denaturalized, stripped of your citizenship, and sent back. Pardon or no pardon. It doesn't say unless you're pardoned. So, once again, we're going to be tied up in the courts over a filthy criminal. I wish I. So we've got a media push going on. John Brennan and Jerk Smith. And we're going to start seeing others getting traipsed out. But I need a laugh track for this one.
There was no predetermined outcome. When I took this job, I was perfectly happy to bring this case if the facts and law warranted it or not. And I've done that throughout my career, and it hasn't mattered what person's political party was to do that. That's how we went about our work. Completely apolitical. Politics did not play a role.
Politics should not play a role. That's not what I'm laughing about the whole thing. You got a job to do, you do it, and it doesn't matter who it is, blah, 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 blah. Too damn bad your job is to be subversive, okay, and to undermine the President of the United States. All right, too bad that's your job. And you're right, you're not political. you're criminal. I know there's a fine line between politics and crime. But what you did does not in any way involve politics. It's criminal behavior. What's this? Brockton announces curfew following violence stemming from World Cup. About the World Cup celebrations, but I didn't upload them because they're a little too truthful, you know. Especially when we look at some American teams, you look at them and go, really? But anyway.
That's all I have to say.
I have something to say. You lied to us. You told us we were going to have a big celebration on July 4th here at City Hall, fireworks and everything. You said Chief Nardelli didn't so-called like it, but you were going to have it. And now we're down to a 1-hour social ice cream thing, flag raising.
Yep. 1 hour.
Unbelievable! 250 years!
Ma'am, I know that that's not the reason why we're here, but I just want to let you know that we were not able to get a fireworks company to produce fireworks for us. And we don't want to do anything illegal in this community. So we're going to do the best that we can to celebrate the 4th of July on this plaza tomorrow afternoon. Thank you.
Yeah, you've been listening after.
That's it for
the whole damn area of the fireworks. That's what a lot of them have done. A lot of them have done to push that narrative that we're all depressed and we're not having a good time. And he's using that curfew to justify that also. And he's blaming the fireworks company. We don't want to do anything illegal. And it's all to push. They're all on the same page. People aren't celebrating. People are depressed. Here. What would possess these, whatever these things are, to go and harass National Guardsmen who are keeping things safe and keeping vandals away from our memorials? Why would they go? This is a 17-second video, by the way. So they're playing the stormtrooper theme at them like they're stormtroopers, aka NAZIs, right? Nothing better to do with their lives. Here, I'll put up something from Trump. How about this? Micron. I was looking for the post he put up when we had that person in last night. I was talking about the accounts for infants, American children getting a head start. Trump made a long post about Micron. They gave $250 million. A great American company announcing they're putting $250 million into the Trump accounts for the future benefit of children, and their stock went up by 9 points today. Thank you, Micron. Oh, if the left could think of some way to say it was illegal trading or some kind of accusation. If they had their way, the old saying would be true. No good deed goes unpunished. Not in a liberal's mind. This is from 2015. This report is from 2015. Who was president in 2015? Remember, I showed Harry Reid in 1993. about this illegal immigration and birthright citizenship, so-called. But anyway.
I know it's not my baby.
The child growing inside Audra Anderson will be going to parents in China.
Who are the future parents of this child you're carrying right now?
A Chinese gay couple. And they are the most wonderful people that I know. They are loving and caring. And if I didn't think that, I wouldn't have given them two wonderful children.
Anderson's surrogate pregnancy is not unusual. A growing number of women in the U.S. are becoming surrogates for wealthy Chinese couples. Agencies like West Coast Surrogacy in Irvine, California, are seeing a large influx of customers from overseas. In fact, 40% of their clients are from China.
For one, their child will be a U.S. citizen. I'm sure that has some draw to it.
你好.
There are other American companies trying to get in on this growing surrogacy industry. Unlike international adoption, there are very few rules governing international surrogacy. Here in a small desert town in Southern California, Audra Anderson says she's already considering carrying a third surrogate child. She can earn from $35,000 to $45,000 for each baby.
Talk about selling out your country. And why hasn't that been addressed by Congress? Mark Wayne Mullen says he's going after these fraudulent surrogacies. And if they're a rich couple from China, the only rich couples you get from China are high-ranking members of the Communist Party, the ruling class. So what do you think they're going to do with that new American citizen that they're going to raise in China? And we estimate there's approximately 1 million of them. Thank you, Miss Mindersu, for putting up some booms, because I put a link in the chats for Buy Me a Coffee. If anybody wants to help support that channel, help an old man out, even though I am temperamental sometimes. Ha, ha, ha. I got to check and see what I did with that daggone woman that was coming in aggravating. We did give them something to chew on, some stuff to think about. I'm waiting for my boom to go off because I want to thank Robin and Younger Gang. Pow! For going by Buy Me a Coffee this week and helping out. I do appreciate it. And in the past, we had Miss Mindersu and Gary they dropped Moabs. Oh, come pow, right? Ha ha, there you go, John Brendan. Pow, pow. Come on, So anyway, yeah, I do appreciate it. I put a link in the chats at the 107 mark. So anyway, yeah, greed's the downfall, darling. That's right. Bambi put a mad face. Speaking of Senate not doing anything, James Wood puts this up. No Trump judges, no voter ID SAVE Act, 50 bills already passed by the House in limbo. Pardon my language, but this guy is a worthless piece of Shiite. He's worse than a grifter Democrat. Fetterman has done more for the Republican platform than this weasel. Treacherous rat. There's John Thune. DECLAS. Foreign influence. S3X trafficking is just the beginning. Class 1 through 99. The second part was occult. And we got 98 beyond. S3X trafficking and the occult. That could be DECLAS. That is my Now, class could mean, is it classified as a criminal act under criminal courts, or will it be classified as an option? Cam Higby put this up. Reminder, the author of the 14th Amendment Citizenship Clause literally said aliens should not become citizens just because they were born on the soil of America before it was voted on. And Clarence Thomas said it very politely, that it would not stand the test of time. But there's documentation of the intention of Congress, the spirit of the document, the verbiage of the document itself flies in the face of what John Roberts was trying to claim with all his high-minded words in his opinion. It is an unlawful opinion in my way of thinking. Here's one for your meta page. Men like this are forced to work until they're 70 because the government is bringing in more and more people like this. Remember the picture I had up of Romeo and the 4 Juliets? How many of these people have 4 wives? 4 sets of children. Many of them keeping them in separate households, claiming that they don't know where the father is, and all being paid for by us. Hoaxes, scams, and we're going to go into 1,000 years of darkness, like Ronald Reagan said, if we don't do something about it. What do you all make of this? EMS personnel attended to unconscious person at Senator Mitch McConnell's home. Audio suggests. Trump made some comments about Mitch McConnell after this episode. I'm sure Trump was apprised of this. Emergency medical personnel were dispatched to the Washington home of Republican Senator Mitch McConnell last month to attend to an unconscious person who appeared to be in cardiac arrest, according to the EMS dispatch audio received by ABC News. While the audio does not indicate who the person is, the incident occurred the same day McConnell was hospitalized June 14th. Well, 2 and 2. McConnell is not named directly in any of the audio. A person for McConnell and did not provide any update on McConnell's current condition. Well, I have another post here where they said he was found unresponsive. Well, we have seen him unresponsive standing at a mic more than once. Did you hear about this? A sea lion went down in the Arabian Sea. Have you all heard any updates on this? I'm asking in the chats. This was on Diamond Silk's page. A frantic search launched for U.S. airmen after chopper goes down in the Arabian Sea. A U.S. Navy airman is missing after a helicopter went down the Arabian Sea on Wednesday, triggering a frantic search and rescue mission as tensions continue to simmer across the region. Now it's cut off here. It was MH-60S Sea Lion. Happened yesterday. I didn't hear anything about it, but on Diamond Silk. Well, they better leave them alone, because word is that Trump is considering finishing the job. I've got a post to that effect in here somewhere. Just take my word for it. Well, somebody's happy about celebrating their country. I had some video of Ilhan Omar dancing with Somalians. Here, look here. See the woman down there in the bottom left? What's she doing? I'll tell you what she's doing. Christina Aguaya will tell you what she's doing. In the city of Boston, they ordered a man to remove his American flag from City Hall Plaza ahead of 4th of July. They raised the Somali flag to mark Somalia's independence. Mayor Michelle Wu, her administration moved ahead with its 3rd annual official raising of the foreign flag. Isn't that something? Doesn't that coincide with Juneteenth, right? The same year. Am I right about that? They started something nobody ever heard of before, Juneteenth, and made it a federal holiday. They used the puppet Joe Biden to put in a divisive federal holiday. And now here, 3rd annual official raising. It happened days before the USA celebrates its 250th anniversary on July 4th. Rob Burke, a Republican candidate challenging longtime Democrat U.S. Rep. Stephen Lynch in Massachusetts' 8th Congressional District, documented a confrontation with photos and video. He later posted what he presented as original, unedited body camera footage from the encounter. Footage shows there, the girl in the bottom left. She's a city worker. You better listen to her. She's got authority. Walking up to him and saying, "Do you own the flag? You got to take that flag down. The stars and stripes." And he complied. He took the flag down, and she maintained her authority. I don't know if I should put this one up or not. I'm going to put it on your meta page. I heard that Zuckerberg wasn't taking people down like they used to. In 125 years, we went from stringing up horse thieves. It's true. That if you stole a horse, that's what happened to you. Because there wasn't no cars back then. Horses were a lifeline for families. It was serious business if you took somebody's horse and got caught. It was do not pass go, a quick trial. We're sorry. This Haitian refugee RAPD'd and took your daughter's life. But his IQ is so low for him to understand what he did is wrong. It's too low. His IQ's too low. That's where we're at as a country. How did I get here? Dun, dun, dun. What's this one? Oh, this is the strikes in Kiev. Remember Trump was talking about those golden domes? You know, they're all throughout Slavic countries, on into Moscow, all through Belarus and Russian territory. Children lost their lives in furious Russian attack on Kiev. You know, I didn't get a chance to put the posts up, but about 10 hours before the offensive started in Kiev that I reported to you all last night, a Ukrainian drone hit an apartment building near Moscow, and the parents and a 6-month-old lost their lives. It's horrible. You don't want to see it on either side. But you didn't hear the 6-month-old getting reported. But the Telegraph puts it out that nasty Putin, Russian-fired ballistic missiles and drones at Kiev on Wednesday night, hours after the Ukrainians were warned about an imminent massive strike. I showed you all those posts. At least 10 people lost their lives, including 2 children, during the attack, with 56 others injured. Man, as many things went off there, it's a wonder that's all it was. But they minimize millions being injured, and they maximize the reporting about Ukrainian. We don't want anybody losing their lives, but what's happening is happening. Let's see here. What's this? Oh, you know, America's depressed. They don't want to celebrate the 4th of July because because of Trump, they just feel so down. They don't really care about the 4th of July. Alexandria, that's in Virginia, urges residents to rat on neighbors celebrating Independence Day with illegal fireworks displays. Fireworks are illegal in Alexandria, including sparklers. Report illegal fireworks by calling 311, the city wrote. So nobody can go out. And they'll say, look, nobody's celebrating. I'd get out there with a bunch of cowbells, cymbals, stomping my feet, and get about a couple thousand people out there, just beat the hell out of pots and pans, whatever you got on hand. What is this one about? Oh, this is the latest report on what happened in the last night's bombing attack on not just Kiev, but about a half a dozen other areas in Ukraine. The Russian Defense Ministry reports that military-industrial complex enterprises and energy facilities in Kiev and the Kiev region, as well as the infrastructure of military airfields in Dnipropetrovsk, Poltava, Cherkasy, Chernihiv, and Kiev regions were hit. Various types of missiles and drones were used. It is also claimed that the Russian armed forces hit a drone storage site. How do you say that word? I can't say it. Anyway, they hit a drone storage facility. I can't say the name. Not because of any other reason, I just can't say it. I don't know how to pronounce that stuff. Anyway, what is this video of? Oh, Nick Sortor. He put up, y'all want to watch a video of, I guess it's the Blue Angels practicing for Saturday. Nick Sortor, he's getting around everywhere, isn't he? Man, that's going to be a sight to see. I hope they got homing devices on anybody vandalizing a memorial. They can just take them out right there. Take them out. Speaking of getting taken out, something's going on in Iran. We know what happened in Iraq, right? A big purge in the green zone, right? And we know Trump said that if Hezbollah, Hamas, or whoever the hell it is keeps causing trouble in Lebanon, he would just let Syria go take care of it. We've got other players, not just the U.S. and Israel, the Kurds. Why would Iran be stepping up its campaign against Kurdish separatist groups in recent days? An IRGC one-way attack, UAV, in other words, a disposable blow-up drone, struck Iranian Kurdish opposition positions on Mount Harari in Erbil Governorate, Iraqi Kurdistan. So Iraq is cleaning out their Iranian hardheads. Trump has given Syria the green light, and the Kurds must be up to something. Otherwise, why would the IRGC be doing this? And also, it was reported that 2 IRGC members lost their lives by anti-government and separatist agents, Iranian state media announces. They reported Wednesday that 2 members of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard were in Kermesh province. So, hey, is that the hunters being hunted now? Sounds like it to me. Oh, speaking of being hunted, he thinks he's being hunted. Hassan Piker. Trump is going to put me in prison, said Hassan Piker. Panics on stream as feds close in. On his live stream yesterday, multi-millionaire socialist, limousine liberal streamer Hassan Piker stopped mid-rant upon seeing a news story that is foreshadowing of his coming arrest. Bro, Trump is going to put me in effing jail. They say one of his handlers got arrested. They called him Hassan Piker's handler. Hi, Roland. How you doing? Sandman's here. Susan, nice to see you. Yeah, so I don't know. Hey, when you give material assistance to enemies of the United States and you broadcast Hamas propaganda on your live streams, I think a lot of these streamers should be escorted to the big house just for what they say and do in front of minors. Filthy mouth, filthy acting. Here's what's going on in the subway stations. What's this, Boston? I'm not sure. A felony criminal charge trying to evade a fare. How do you get a felony criminal charge evading a $2 and some cent fare? I'll show you how.
Felony criminal charge to save $2.50. This surveillance video from Lindbergh Station shows one of many times this has happened in just the past month. A MARTA rider first trying to push through, then smashing out the new fare gates.
To be honest, some people were used to not having to pay fare and just being able to ride MARTA anytime they wanted to for free.
Gotta nip it, Andy. Remember Barney Fife? You got to nip it, nip it, nip it. Yeah, the low IQ crowd and the 2% that commit 98% of the crime. Here you go. $2.50 some cent fare. You know, you can't be paying that.
This is terrible.
Yeah, you could have just asked this. Yeah, I know. Hey, what do you think, man? Have a good night.
We can't even open it with you there. That's the crazy part. We can't open it without harming you.
Jiminy crickets. I'm sure she had a very important appointment to go to. Well, I got to play this. I got 2 video clips. A woman is standing in a parking space. I hate it when people do this stuff. Trying to hold a parking space for somebody else. Now, this is a news report. YouTube algorithm, I am replaying a video from a news television news, okay? I'm replaying it. But anyway, tell me what you think. And then I got a different clip of the same incident.
We're going to start this with the video. The victim with the gray shirt. The woman with a gun. There is a standoff, and then the shooting. You can hear it.
He was a good man.
A daughter in tears. Amanda lost her 62-year-old father, Bart, shot in the stomach in a Walmart parking lot in North Lauderdale.
I just don't think anybody deserves to lose their life over a parking spot.
Cops say an adult female and the victim were involved in a verbal altercation over a parking space in the Walmart parking lot prior to the shooting. According to investigators, the shooter, the adult female, remained on scene, cooperated with detectives, and she told them the shooting was in self-defense.
He loved his country. He loved his country.
Bart served in the military. There are no charges in this case at this point. Amanda says she was estranged from her dad for many years, but recently they were working on repairing their relationship. And just like that, a life lost. And throughout the interview, you can see the pain on her face.
He moved down here 3 years ago with the intentions on rebuilding the relationship.
And during the time we spoke with Amanda, the daughter, she kept repeating to me, over a parking spot, nobody deserves to lose their life over a parking spot. I want to mention this again, no charges at this point. The investigation is ongoing. We're live in North Lauderdale. I'm Rosh Lowe, Local 10 News.
Okay, Rosh, thank you. A safety alert tonight as thousands.
Yeah, she went home. She went home. Now, he may have been former military, but I'll tell you what, anybody brandishing a weapon, there's something wrong with their brain, okay? And you get away from people like that, okay? No matter how mad you are. And it didn't look to me like her life was in any danger. That's the way I'm going to put it. And I think in this clip, you'll see her talking smack over top of him after she shoots him. I think this clip shows that. But she was on the phone. So whatever was being said is probably captured somewhere. I don't know. We'll see.
A witness captured the shooting on a cell phone. And videos from cameras on a nearby Tesla show the crime as it happened. A man and a woman are arguing. The man is seen walking toward the woman, follows her around a vehicle. A few moments later, investigators say she shot him. A relative sent us this picture of Bart DeClass. He died from his injuries. It happened yesterday in the middle of the day in the Walmart Supercenter parking lot on McNabb Road near Rock Island Road in North Lauderdale.
When I came, there was police officers everywhere, and I did hear a woman screaming and crying, and she was saying something, but I couldn't, but it was incoherent to me what she was saying.
Deputies confirm the woman and DeClass exchanged words over a parking spot and then the shooting. She waited for police to arrive, then told them she shot in self-defense. Tonight she's not in jail. Prosecutors will decide if she should face criminal charges or not.
Right there at the end, you see her pointing her. I told you I'm going to shoot your ass. Is that what she was doing? And yeah, he was a good distance from her. She went home. That's, I didn't hear what was said. But she was brandishing it. And there's got to be some level of, where your temper cannot override your spidey sense of danger. Let's see, I don't even know. Here's another one of those black screened. Uh-oh, where'd it go? There we go. I'm not sure what this is. So we'll see what happened. Was that in Texas? Because Texas, you don't have to back up. It is stand your ground. And, I think I will save this video. I might save this video. Here we go. GOP betrays MAGA. Celebrates devastating SCOTUS loss for Trump. Who in the GOP would celebrate the birthright citizenship? We got to make sure whoever this is doesn't get back in office. Representative Maria Elvira Salazar broke with several Florida Republicans after the Supreme Court upheld birthright citizenship, saying she agrees with the justice as other GOP leaders slam the decision. And the ones that aren't slamming the decision are just being mealy-mouthed. You're on one side or the other, baby. And if you're not speaking up against what these justices did, you're just like Salazar. People need to start recognizing who's not standing up for them and get rid of them. Or you could end up with this for President of the United States. Put this on your Meta page. Well, some people have actually said I was the most qualified candidate ever to run for president. What you got going on with them shoes, man? Look at them bozo feet. And look at all the mouth open, screaming, and yay, Kamala Harris. Can you imagine her dealing with Iran? She'd be all in for lockdowns, whatever kind of crap the deep state throws, right? Whatever kind of crap the deep state throws, she'd be ready for it. Just like this, this is the Babylon Bee. Put this up about Ketanji Brown Jackson. This is a parody, right? Wise words. Babylon Bee put up. Birthright citizenship is absolute peak. Those unks in Congress low-key cooked with what they were straight aura farming. No cap. From Ketanji Brown Jackson's official SCOTUS opinion on Trump versus Barbara. Anyway, I'm sorry I got bristled up earlier. But I did get bristled up. What happened? I'm trying to get rid of that daggone Kamala Harris thing. Jeez, I got to erase that from my memory entirely. Ugh. But hey, we're in danger of it, right? But anyway, yeah, you never know what'll happen at the end of my broadcasts. And I got to go back and check myself. And I'm glad I didn't. Wait a minute. Somebody said they didn't see Lori in here. I better not have blocked Lori. Oh, my word. So I got to go back and check, but right at the end of the broadcast. But anyway, I'm just checking. See. But anyway, I'm going to play this clip for you. Don't like a stone. But I want to say what I always say, which is thank you for spending your precious time with me. And I am putting in the description once again a link to buy me a coffee. If anybody wants to help the channel out, it's greatly appreciated. And I also put up there my postage stamp for people to scan if that would help them also. And I appreciate everybody going by buy me a coffee. It's really helped the channel out. I appreciate it. And I'll be going live tomorrow night. If you're subscribed, you'll know when I go live, right? So go ahead and do that, why don't you? And I won't play this clip for you. I should have played this last night when we had a TDS victim in here. But anyway, enjoy this clip, you all. Have a great night. I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man. Over and out.
Have you or someone you know been diagnosed with TDS? The symptoms can be relentless. Fortunately, I'm Dr. Trump, and I have a treatment plan. Let's hear what some of my patients have to say.
I have been suffering for over a decade, and after listening to Dr. Trump, I can see some results.
Man, I've been suffering for years. I really didn't believe that was help out there. That was when I came across this video on TV.
I really thought I was a lost cause. This was gonna affect me for the rest of my life. But after using the treatment plan, I can see a difference.
I really wasn't sure I could help some of these people. They were so far gone, I wasn't really sure.
I had no idea how much this was affecting my life. My work is slowed down. I'm hardly recognizable anymore. I just needed help.
I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. Constantly angry. I made everyone miserable around me.
I feel like I've aged 20 years in the last 2 years.
This is AI, by the way, you chisel, don't get me in trouble.
Worry about my future.
The treatment is simple. Turn off fake news. Say your prayers, and if you ever feel anxious, just have a Diet Coke like me and you're going to see a remarkable difference in your life.